Hello， 大家好，欢迎回到外媒看中国，我是安博然。With tensions heating up between China and Japan over Prime Minister Takaichi's recent comments, suggesting Japan would defend Taiwan Island militarily if Beijing made a move towards reunification, some commentators on X are openly suggesting that China should attack Japan with nuclear weapons. As we all know, Japan is the only country ever to be attacked by a nuclear bomb, and it happened twice. But it was the United States who killed thousands of innocent Japanese civilians, and the US military continues to occupy that country to this day. But those warmongers salivating over the idea of China dropping a nuclear bomb on Japan will be disappointed. Today I'll explain why that will never happen. Let's go beyond the propaganda. This is Reports on China. I'm Andy Boreham here in Shanghai. Let's get reporting. Japan's first female Prime Minister has yet to apologise or withdraw her statements, suggesting that her country might intervene militarily if Beijing made moves to reclaim Taiwan Island. A comment that sent shockwaves through the region and signalled a possible return to Japanese militarisation. Like I mentioned last time, Japan's fascist military left hundreds of thousands dead across the region, not just here in China, but also throughout East and Southeast Asia, which is why Takaichi's comments have been met with such resistance from Beijing, who's demanding the PM retract and apologise. But some are going a step too far, suggesting China should drop a nuclear bomb on Japan over the comments, or drop a nuclear bomb on Japan if it truly did militarily intervene in China's domestic issues. Thankfully, that is absolutely impossible because of China's nuclear policy, as reiterated again yesterday in a white paper released by Beijing. Titled China's Arms Control, Disarmament and Non-Proliferation in the New Era, the paper highlights China's peaceful stance and its very rare policy of not using nuclear weapons first. It reads, China's nuclear weapons are not intended to threaten other countries, but for defense and self-protection. China has always committed to its policy of no first use of nuclear weapons. The paper continues. If the 5 nuclear weapon states, China, France, Russia, the UK and the US, could reach a consensus on mutual no first use of nuclear weapons, it would be conducive to reducing strategic risks, avoiding nuclear arms races, and promoting global strategic balance and stability. On top of that, China also has a policy of never using nuclear weapons and never threatening to use nuclear weapons on non-nuclear powers. The paper reads, China maintains that all nuclear weapon states should undertake not to use or threaten to use nuclear weapons against non-nuclear weapon states under any circumstances. Since Japan does not have nuclear weapons, just that second clause alone is enough to ensure China will never use nuclear weapons on that country. The white paper was released during rising tensions in the region as Japan makes inflammatory comments and Taiwan signs a new US $40 billion deal to buy weapons from the United States. Another section of the paper urges Japan to thoroughly destroy the chemical weapons it abandoned in China during World War II. Now, during Japan's violent and deadly attacks on and occupation of different parts of China in the early to mid-20th century, the Japanese carried out a total of 1,791 attacks using chemical weapons, resulting in the deaths of over 200,000 Chinese. But after Japan was defeated, the Japanese abandoned a large amount of chemical weapons here in China, which have since led to the further deaths of some 2,000 Chinese due to poisoning and so on. China calls for Japan to honour its obligations and help China to find and clean up all of the contaminated sites left behind. The report reads, to date, the Japanese side has not yet provided comprehensive, detailed and accurate information on the whereabouts of its abandoned chemical weapons. Hideous, right? Come on, Japan, it's time you sorted this out once and for all. The white paper is basically a pledge to the world that China and its military are for defense only, will never be targeted at other countries, and will hopefully never have to be used. The paper concludes, China stands ready to work with all peace-loving countries to build an equal and orderly multipolar world and promote universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. It will consolidate and develop the UN-centered international arms control regime, work with all parties to build a community with a shared future for humanity, and create a brighter future for all. Nice, sounds pretty good to me. Now, if you want to read the full report, you can download it at the link below this video. And on that note, that will be it for today, you guys. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you know that China has a no first use nuclear policy? And do you think the other powers should follow suit? Do let me know down below, and also don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.